Alright, so I'm not the type of person that wears shawls, but I think I want to be. So I'm going to try and sneak up on it from behind by making like a hooded infinity scarf and wearing that as a winter hat. We'll see. The idea is something I will wear, but also something that looks like it belongs on Wheel of Time, because the textures on those costumes, I love them very much. Starting point is this, which was going to be a shirt and just failed completely. And so first step is cutting it up. Also this, which I made out of some scraps and intended to be like a summer scarf decorative thing and then just never wore. So we'll see where we go. Unpicking things takes forever, but I'm kind of hoping that the curve of the sleeve cap can be made to work for the hood. And if that's the case, then this is a potential shirt upcycle, and that's a cool idea. Alright, I promise that I will get measurements, but this looks like it's working so far. So this was the top of a sleeve, right? So under my arm, the flat part there is the top of my head, and then the curve of it is the back of my head, and then down here, the other side that would be under my arm is going to frolic off into the distance as a scarf, right? And so 2 sleeve caps, one for either side of the head, and a rectangle for the top and back of the head, because heads do not come to points, they have a flat place on top, right? Ish. I came up with a different really cool purpose for some of the fabric I showed you, so I'm having to do some really annoying patchworking on the scarfy bit. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully the stitching will unify things, and like I said, I promise I'll measure. Doop doop doop. We have a frankly absurd quantity of seams, and of course I am folding them all over like this to tuck all the loose edges in. You could be a responsible sewist and make a shell and a lining and do whatever magical inside-out trick that lining thing is, but that's not what I'm doing. Patchworking goes together like this for me. Edges get folded over twice and sewn down. And everything looks pretty chaotic, but I love it that way. I've decided I'm not crazy about the really cool red and the really warm red together, so we're going to take a bath in some tea and see if that helps. Alright, that does look more unified, which is nice. Now, got this at the secondhand shop for $1 because I wanted the shells, so I'm going to cut them off. Found a little baggie of wooden beads that I got at the secondhand shop and decided to put them on the hood. I wanted those shells on the hood, but they seemed too heavy. So the donut-shaped wooden beads got put on there we go, like that, and then the bead-shaped wooden beads got put on like that, and where is it? There it is. The shells are on the scarf part. They had the backs cut off them. See? So they were easy to put on with my regular needle. And they make the most wonderful clicking sound, and they're so cool and smooth under your fingers. And I just remembered that I have these that I cut off a skirt that I bought ages and ages and ages ago, and it got worn out and fell apart very quickly, but I saved the beads. Look how beautiful they are. They're going to make click click noises too. Look how pretty. All right, look at me outside in the February sunlight, actually filming a reveal. There. I mean, it's just a hood. Except I also look like a background character from a fantasy show, which was the goal. So I figure when it's not too miserable and I just want like a little bit of a wind block, then this is good. Or more likely, if it's really chilly out, which it, so far as I'm concerned, is, I will put my rainbow toboggan under it, and then this will be the wind block, and this will be the keep warm, and it's awesome. So there's those that I was so excited about. Lots of textures. Let me stick this on my kid, and then we'll do like reveal part 2. But this is how it looks on me because I've got a giant head and I made it for me. Tiny human, helpful as ever with a smaller, like normal sized human head. Okay, so there's a line of those beads. Beads, beads, beads. Texture, texture, texture. And there we go. Look, her tiny noggin is covered. And it gives a hood to the jacket. Don't you love it, Squishkins?
No!
Alright, just so you can see how disorganized the patchworking is. Here's one side. And the other side, I admit I did straight lines of beads just so I could use them all up and not worry about having to have a pattern. And the inside, I do think a proper contrast lining would be cool. And the other inside. And now measuring. All measured. Obviously all this would depend on your fabric and your preferences, but I measured the thing, and there's the equivalent of 2 of these pieces, one for either side of your noggin, and then this goes along the crown of your head, making the hood bigger. This hood's huge. The next one we do is going to have a much smaller hood, and I will try the big one and the small one on, and my child will try the big one and the small one on, and then you can see the comparison. The scarf part could have been shorter too. I think the next one will be. We'll see. Will I wear my ridiculous beaded hoodie next time I go to the grocery store? Yes, absolutely. It's going to be chilly. It'll be fun. I will make the grocery store a more interesting place, which is in character. Oh, the next one that I keep talking about. I had an idea in the middle of all this that a harlequin patterned, harlequin-ish fabric, patchwork fabric would be cool for this and would make a really cool accessory for my kid. So that's the next video. And I really, really hope you'll join me for it and that you use this, because obviously it's a rough draft. I love it, but it can be better, and it's just an idea, and it's really simple and really light on fabric and infinitely decoratable, which is, that's not a word, is it? Anyway, love you all. See you again soon.